Ladies and gents, please welcome to the stage, Sean Evans!
Okay, yeah, I really did think I was on next. Hello. Hello, everyone. Okay. I really don't know why I signed up for this shit, actually. I think I kind of thought it would make my research more like interesting and fun, but it hasn't actually, so I don't really know what I'm doing here. So I kind of dread going to parties and meeting new people because I know that sooner or later they're going to ask the inevitable question, so what do you do? And at that moment I just savour the innocent look in their eyes because they just don't know that they are in for a world of pain with that answer. And it's not because my science is so clever and complicated that mere mortals are never going to understand it. I mean, for starters, I'm a PhD student at Imperial, and PhD students are supposed to be clever, but let me tell you, there is nothing clever about being in your late 20s and seriously considering whether you can afford a cup of soup for lunch. But if I'm honest, that's because I'm spending most of my money on avocado. Yeah, I'm a guilty millennial, yeah, shoot me now. But the thing is, oh no, I forgot what came next. No, not salt. There's more about being a PhD student because it kind of is shit and there was a lot of material around that. The thing is, things kind of change when you become a PhD student. Like, when I was doing my undergrad, everyone was like, oh, she's so bright. And then I went on and did a master's, and everyone was like, oh, she's so talented. And then I started doing a PhD, and everyone was like, she's really taking the piss now. She needs to stop. Like, everyone's just wondering why I haven't got a real job yet. My mum rings me up every other day to reinforce this by giving me news, like, oh, I just bumped into Sarah's mum. Did you know she's a qualified lawyer now? Or even worse is, oh, did you know such and such is a real doctor now? Yeah, thanks, mum. But seriously, listen, can you send me 50p so I can buy a cup of soup? She thinks that I'm wasting all my money on cocaine, but I'm not going to correct her because she'd be furious if she knew I was spending my money on avocados. I'll take it, that's fine. But I also feel kind of guilty telling people I'm a scientist as well, because if I tell people I'm a scientist, they imagine I wear a long white coat and I spend my days blowing things up in the lab, which is very glamorous, when the reality is I spend my days slumped over a computer and the only thing that blows up is my temper when Excel crashes. So I kind of feel like a fucking fraud for telling people I'm a scientist, and the disappointment doesn't stop there either. I'm actually a geologist. Woo to any geologists out there. But the thing is, there's kind of this mean girl style hierarchy in geology, right? So there's like volcanologists and seismologists, they're kind of like the jocks, you know. Everyone thinks volcanoes and earthquakes are cool. Whatever, I don't get it. Then there's like the hippie climate scientist trying to save the world, you know, who gives a shit? And, then there's like the gothic planetary scientists, they're just, you know, way out there doing nothing of importance to anyone, so fine, whatever. But the worst ones are the paleontologists. Like, paleontologists are so fucking smug because everyone loves dinosaurs. It doesn't matter. Dinosaurs have no consequence for the world today, but everyone loves fucking dinosaurs. And then there's me. So I study salt. Yeah, I knew that was going to be my biggest laugh of the set, and that's just a fact. That's not even a joke, that's literally just a fact. And so literally the stuff that you put on chips. I don't mean it in like a chemical compound sense. So how the fuck do you explain to someone at a party that you study salt for a living? Like, fucking paleontology paleontologists have never had to watch the light leaving someone's eyes as you try to explain that you study salt. I mean, yeah, the struggle is real. And, literally, the only way I can get anyone interested in salt is when I bring out a round of tequila shots. Which is fair enough, to be honest. I'd rather be doing tequila too. But don't get me wrong, I actually think what I do is pretty cool. So I study oceans that evaporated millions of years ago and leave behind these massive salt deposits which are then buried in the rock record. And so I think that sounds very cool, but yeah, I just watch people glancing over my shoulder, looking for an escape route. And science. It gets even worse than that, to be honest. If they even get as far as asking why I study salt, then God help me, because the applications of my research are actually in oil and gas. So now I am not just fucking boring, I'm actually fucking evil as well. So, yeah, I'm struggling on both sides there. So yeah, that white powdery stuff really is the bane of my life, just not in the sense that my mum thinks. And I think I'll leave it there. Yeah.